What's up, Fanatics? New summer series inside Iowa State football coming to you for the weekend. Hope you have a great weekend. If you're out traveling, maybe you're on a vacation. Hope this can help you guys as we are rolling through these summer series shows. And this one was a hell of a lot of fun. Really enjoyed getting to know Caleb Bacon and Jeremiah Cooper from Iowa State's defense just a little bit. Really good stuff from these two young men. Enjoy getting to know them. I want to thank all of our great sponsors of the summer series. Of course, we have Fairway Meat and Grocery, specifically the Fairway Meat Market, the massive one up in Ames, as we're getting ready for tailgate season. And I've told you this before, and it's the God's honest truth. I drop off my camper, and then I drive over to West Ames to the Fairway Meat Market. It's what I do every Friday. It's the first place I go. They got everything I need there. If I need some beer, burgers, brats, steaks, seafood, they got it all. They've got the condiments. The Fairway Meat Market there in Ames. I couldn't endorse that more here on the summer series. They do great work. I also want to thank my buddy Ryan and his team over at Central States Roofing, commercial roofing in Central Iowa. But man, we've had a weird weather year. Leaks. We've had wind, God willing, there's friends of ours who have had their houses destroyed from tornadoes this year. I just want to remind you of all my friends over at Central States Roofing. This is a clone to the bone company, hyper local. They've been in business together for decades now, family owned, and they do great work, and they're great supporters of everything we're doing here at Cyclone Fanatic. They'll re-roof for you. They do new construction, all that great stuff. Remember them if you need a new roof, anything like that. Central States Roofing. Also, Robinson Implement and our friends Clay and Chase Natuzel at Raymond James will tell you about them coming up. And we are going to dive in. Let's do this Caleb Bacon interview right now. Iowa State linebacker really came onto the scene last year. Former walk-on. Great story. One of the best stories on Matt Campbell's roster. I had a great time catching up with him here on this summer series installment going inside Iowa State football. All right, fired up for this one. Fan favorite guy who I had a blast watching last year, watching his game develop, and I think we're in for a special 2024 with Iowa State linebacker Caleb Bacon, the pride of Lake Mills, Iowa. Lake Mills, Iowa. Tell me about it, Caleb. I feel like I've been to a lot of Iowa towns. What do we do up in Lake Mills? I've never been there.
About the only thing I think that we're really known for is we have like a casino right off the interstate, not too far from us. Diamond Joe. I'm sure you drive to Minnesota, you drive right past that, but not a whole lot up there. Like town, like 2,000 people, but some gambling up there if you're driving by.
Yeah, I've been through there. I go to Vikings games a lot, and you're really close. Were you a Vikings fan growing up?
Yeah, I was.
I'm sorry, man. It's a painful existence that we live. It's not pleasant. How has your off season been?
It's been good. We just got back from our little 4th of July break, so started up this week strong so far. But this off season's been fun. A lot of lifting, and we've been able to get some football stuff into get in the film room with your precision group and on the field, a couple walkthroughs. So, been good.
What? I thought you had I thought you were one of the great stories from Iowa State's roster last year. You're kind of a guy that not a lot of us knew much about, and by the end of the year, it's like, damn, this guy's a future pro. It's what it looked like to me. Walk me. Where did you get that? Where'd you get that grind from? Because this wasn't easy for you, right? You had to earn your time. Nobody handed you anything, and then. Again, you go from nobody knows you to at the end of the year, you're the man out there. What was your childhood like? Where'd you get that intensity?
I guess really if you ask my parents too, growing up, I've kind of always had that competitive drive. Like even when we first started playing football, I think in 5th, 6th grade, that was just really my passion. And I always told them man, I want to play, big time college football. I want to play in the NFL, stuff like that. And I've really never, gotten away from that dream. And I've always figured that I could do it. And, it wasn't highly recruited out of high school, didn't have any offers really, small school, stuff like that. But it's really just having belief in myself, I guess, that, if I believe in myself, it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Like I can do whatever I put my mind to, basically, is kind of the mentality I went into with it.
Because a lot of programs, a guy like you will go in and you don't really get a shot, right? Especially until later. What about Iowa State developed you to become that guy as early on as it did? Why did that fit so well with who you are?
I think it kind of says a lot about our culture, especially like with walk-ons recently. Man, we've had a lot of good walk-ons come through. I mean, and the coaches are all about that. Like some programs probably, like, they'll get pushed aside a little bit, but here it's like coaches love walk-ons. They love, you come in, work hard, do your thing. Like, I mean, last year we had Drew Sturgis come in, true freshman, ended up getting put on scholarship because he came in and they realized, man, he can play football really good. So it's just like they kind of give you the chance. Like my chance was my fall camp. Really, I came in, my very first one came in. Didn't really, wasn't really going to plan on playing much at all. It was like fourth team on all the special teams, first fall camp. And then and then I think I won like scout team player of the week, and coaches realized that and they started moving you up slowly and slowly and slowly. And then ended up playing special teams that year. But coaches definitely notice you're working hard out there.
Where was the moment at in your short Iowa State career, Caleb, where was there a moment where you thought something flipped? Maybe that was it, winning scout team player of the week or whatever? Like, was there a moment where just like physically you're like, man, I just feel like a different guy. I feel like I belong, or was it always like that? Walk me through that.
Yeah, I would say it was either that, my freshman year fall camp, when I won scout team player of the week, and I was like, man, like I feel like I can do this. Or also I would say this last year, going into fall camp, that's when I really kind of like dialed it down and like really realized, like, some of the coaches came and talked to me like, man, like you can really help us this year. And I started, diving into the playbook more, stuff like that. And that whole entire fall camp was like, man, I'm like going to help this team out this year. I think I can really play.
Well, you certainly can. And one of the things that always, like, I think this time of year where we're all kind of getting ready for camp, I like to know where you guys started in the offseason and where you're at now. When you had the exit meeting from 2023, what was the message that Coach Campbell and the strength and conditioning staff had for Caleb Bacon, and how has that progressed during the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, for the whole team and as a whole, I guess, like we were bowl eligible, stuff like that, but none of us really cared. Like we were 7-6. I mean, like that, none of us were satisfied with that. So that was a big push point, is, man, like we're not even close to where we want to be. For me specifically, really, it was really just like diving in. I got my first little taste of playtime this past year, like real legit playtime. And for me, it was just, pushing off that, diving into the playbook a little bit more, learning new schemes. And with our new linebacker coach, Coach Cratch, he's been pretty helpful with that. So really just, base stuff like, bigger, stronger, stuff like that. And this offseason, I think we've been pretty successful in that.
And the bigger, stronger thing's always interesting too, because you want to get bigger, but you also want to keep your speed. You want to do all that. Where was your strength and conditioning offseason push towards? Bulk, speed, mix? Where were you going there?
I was kind of already I was hovering right at 240 last year, and that's kind of where I am now, maybe like 242, but not really bulk. It's mainly just like talk to our nutritionist and really just like lean out.
Yeah.
I wanted to drop a lot of fat, just gain a lot of muscle and just really lean out and stay like right at that 240, but continue to, you can always be faster too. So
it's interesting because I lived, when I was in college in mid 2000s, I lived with football players and nutrition wasn't a thing. Yeah. Like, I mean, they'd come home and the football program would just give them like 6 bags of Hickory Park and they'd eat rolls and whatever. It's interesting when a guy like you says that, because it feels like that's just such a big deal now that wasn't in the game 20 years ago. What do you know about that you didn't maybe 2 years ago?
I mean, yeah, I think I want to say maybe last summer, our like nutrition team, strength team, and even some like coaches took a big jump in like pushing like more kind of like vitamins and supplements like that. getting guys on like creatine, things like that.
Mhm.
And even like that stuff has been super helpful. And like nutrition wise, I mean, we just built that new facility however many years ago it was. And since then, I mean, that's just been so helpful. We have the downstairs facility, which is like grab and go stuff. And you can grab any protein shake you want, ask our nutritionist in the office for whatever you want. And then the fourth floor up top, that's where we eat all our meals. And there's always nutritionists up there. I mean, if you need, you can basically have them just pick your plate for you. So, I mean, you have all the resources available.
That's what a guy like me needs. I got 2 kids. It's like, I'll just take the chicken nuggets, like that's good. Again, it's just evolved so much. It didn't even exist 20 years ago with this. I want to hear a little bit more about the defense from you. First of all, before I get into some specifics, I'm a great admirer of John Haycock. I've been around Iowa State for 20 years, and he's one of my top 2 or 3 favorite humans. I respect him so much. I think he's an amazing man. And I love asking you guys all what he means to you, because he's been a mentor to me, and he didn't have to be. And like, what is it like playing for a leader like John Haycock on the defensive side?
Yeah, I mean, you summed it up pretty good. He's like football wise, I mean, he's a football genius, but as a person, I always like going in to talk to him end of year, the meetings like that, because he just gives really good advice, and he's had numerous years of experience coaching, and he'll spit it to you pretty straight, and you take all that, and you just go back to work. So Coach Haycock, like, we'll go over to he'll invite the defense over a couple times a year, go have a meal at his place, do some team bonding there. So I mean, football coach, I mean, he's phenomenal and just even better person.
So I thought it was interesting. I just got back from Las Vegas with the team for the media days, and Coach Campbell talked a little bit about it, and then JR Singleton was talking about, you guys might, I know it's really early and you're kind of experimenting, but there may be more 4 down linemen for Iowa State this year than we've seen in the past, and that's a mix of a lot of things. The Big 12's changed a lot, and I think that they're pretty confident with a lot of those guys on the defensive line. What is that? Does that excite you? What does that mean for you guys and the linebackers? It's not a huge change. It's not as big as I think a lot of fans think, but how does that impact you? Give us your analysis on that.
Yeah, we definitely got some good D linemen coming back, and they're definitely holding the middle down for us. So as as a backer, that really just like frees everything up. Be able to trust them to free you up to make more plays, and even hopefully, I can step down there too off the edge a little bit more this upcoming season too. So that'll be fun. Run some blitzes.
I wondered that.
Yeah, so we'll be off the edge a little more too. Just rushing the passer. Some more blitzes coming. So
the linebacker room is really interesting. The guy everybody, well, other than you, is this Cooper Ebel, who we haven't seen much of. Matt was talking about him to me down in Las Vegas, and everybody is just raving about the step he's taken from one year to another. What do you have to say about your teammate and what you've been able to witness?
I mean, yeah, he's been great in spring ball and now in this summer block, but I think that really all started with last year. He was backing up Gary Vaughn most of the year too. Mm-hmm. So really, like, you're not going to get much playing time backing him up, the linebacker that Gary was. So, but I mean, he's just learning from Gary last year. I think that's a huge step of it. We're learning from a veteran like him. And then, I mean, he just went to work in the weight room wise. I don't even know how much weight he put on, but
it's a lot.
He's bigger than me now. So he might be like 245, 246. So he's put on some grown man weight for sure. And, just his ability to, perfect his craft at his position has been fun to watch.
The defense as a whole, I thought last year it was hard to read you guys. You were really young at linebacker. The safeties had injury problems all year long. And I thought even the defensive line, I thought they played well, but it felt like they were just a step off. And I think youth probably had a lot to do with it. Caleb, is it just me being a total Cyclone homer here? But I felt like you guys were just a tick off. I thought you were a half step behind. You're bringing most of these guys back. I'm pretty confident in this group as a whole. Am I on the right track as far as that goes?
Yeah, that's honestly why I'm really excited about this year. I know I said it last year, I think after the bowl game in an interview, but it's just like, people love to use the excuse that we were young last year, and now we're just not going to have that excuse. So
Yeah.
really just like get to work this year.
How does that, guys like me often use cliches, but I think it's true. Like when the game slows down for a guy like you, and it's not just you. I mean, I think of a guy like Onyedum on the edge, right? Like that's a guy who was pretty close to having 10 sacks last year, but he's just, how does that slow down now that you've seen it all? Right? This is your second go. Can you explain to a casual fan who sits there in Jack Trice Stadium on a Saturday night and watches you guys just mentally how that's different in your second year playing a lot?
Yeah. I think it's also just like, you just got to naturally have it sometimes. That's part of it, I guess. I feel like I've really had that since high school, I feel like.
Yeah.
Just like a natural, like knack to like find the ball or like figure a play out. But I mean, there's also a lot of like scheming into that too, like knowing, what formations are going to line up in. Then from those formations, what are the only plays they can run out of it? And, what are, they motion somebody. It's just really, diving in and basically kind of knowing, at least have a kind of a picture of what they're going to run pre-snap.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Are you just describing what you can see pre-snap? I mean, that's where you think you evolve. And my other question would be, do you evolve watching film? Like, do you get better watching film at this level the way you need to do it? Does that improve over time?
Yeah, I definitely think so. That's probably like the main – I mean, there's drills and everything too, but just like seeing everything, going over the games last year, just rewatching what could you do differently here? What should you have been watching? There's times in the game where, you're just not looking in the right spot. The game's going in too fast and you're kind of just get your eyes caught and then, run breaks. And where could you have been looking? How could you have, played this different?
Caleb, I appreciate your time. I like you even more now because I know you're a Vikings fan. That makes me feel good. And I enjoyed your work with the pork producers last year. Let's hope we can get you out there and have another big year. And it's been a blast talking to you, getting to know you a little bit. All right, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate that.
All right, thank you. That's Caleb Bacon right there, Iowa State linebacker. All right, there you have it, Caleb Bacon. We'll get to Jeremiah Cooper in just a couple of minutes, but I want to tell you about my friends over at Robinson Implement, a proud sponsor of the Cyclone Fanatic Summer Series as we dig into Iowa State football. 3 convenient locations in Irwin, Pocahontas, and Corning. They got all of your farm and construction equipment needs. Again, Robinson Implement, locations in Irwin, Pocahontas, and Corning. We thank them for supporting the Summer Series here on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network. The same goes to my friends over at Raymond James, Clay and Chase Natuzel. They're financial advisors who, listen, these guys won me over. I had a conversation with them and I was like, damn, these guys are really smart and I'd love to tell you about them and give you all the opportunity to plan your family's future with a couple of guys who are really, really great Cyclones. RaymondJames.com/Natuzel. That is spelled Netusil. That is Netusil. Clay's mom and dad both worked at Iowa State. His dad was a professor for like 30 years. These people are massive Iowa State fans, and they're big Cyclone Fanatic fans. They've been listening to what we do for a really long time, and we really appreciate their sponsorship here on the Cyclone Fanatic Summer Series. Let's also want to remind everybody we've got a big golf outing coming up with the We Will Collective out in Northwest Iowa. The We Will Cyclone Fanatic Okoboji Golf Classic. It's coming up 20 days from now, July the 31st. Golf, food, and one-of-a-kind Cyclone auctions. Everything will go through the We Will Collective. You can secure your spot today. WeWillCollective.com/events. WeWillCollective.com/events. That's coming up on July 31st in Okoboji. I hope you join us up there for golf and a Cyclone Fanatic road show as well. One of my all-time favorite Cyclones. I know it sounds crazy. I haven't been here that long, but I love watching Jeremiah Cooper hit, man. He's a ball hawk in the secondary, and he's a great young man. I had a great time having this conversation with him here on the Cyclone Fanatic Summer Series as we continue to dive inside Iowa State football. All right, here we go. Fired up for this one. One of my favorite clones. I love watching him come up and hit people. Jeremiah Cooper, my man, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. Hope y'all doing good too.
Yeah, we're great.
Yes,
First
sir.
of all, have you played the video game yet? Have you gone up and hit somebody as yourself yet?
I haven't played the video game. I can't wait to play it next week though. I'm gonna be on it. All day after football. I'm gonna be on the game.
Yeah, so back in the day, we would when I was in college at Iowa State, we would line up at Walmart at like 11 o'clock at night, and they would open the doors, and then we would all just rush in and buy the game and play it for like 24 hours.
Hey, that's lit. That's lit though.
Yeah.
That's the hype. That's the hype this game bringing though.
It is. Well, all the guys out in Vegas got to play it. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I know. I heard they got to play it.
Yeah.
They said it was smooth too. So
yeah. Are you a gamer? You play games?
Yeah, I'll be playing a lot of games.
What kind?
I play my two favorite games, Call of Duty and 2K.
2K. All right.
Madden 2 sometimes, but once NCAA come out, I'm not playing Madden no more.
No. NCAA is so much better. Are you gonna do like the dynasty mode and stuff?
I might just try everything. All
right.
Yeah.
So how's your off season been, man? You guys I'm really excited about the defense. What's the feel like over there?
I mean, everybody knows what we have to do. Everybody knows we're returning almost 18, 19 starters.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's not brand new to us. So we know what we got to do to succeed next season to reach what we want to reach. So this season just getting our bodies right, getting our mental right, just to prepare for fall camp and succeed through the season.
Truth here. So I've always been a defensive line guy. It's always been my favorite position to watch. I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, you guys have changed that for me. Like I've been watching the back end. Because you guys are crazy. Like your group of safeties, Iowa State's never had anything like it. I mean, you guys I almost feel like you have to save yourselves from yourself because you guys go up and hit so damn hard.
I mean that's how our defenses ran. That's how we had to play safety as us safeties, me, Leak, Bo, and then everybody else in the room. We got to fit. There's a lot of coverages where we're the primary fitter, so we got to go down and stop in 1-2 yards. So I mean that's what makes it fun though.
So, but there was an aspect last year where you guys didn't play together that much because somebody was usually out.
Yeah.
What is there anything you can do about do you change anything? Is it just hopefully have a really great off season of conditioning? So, because man, when you guys are all out there together, it flows different.
Yeah, I mean it's college football. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. It's a long season, so we can't really say who's not gonna get hurt, who's gonna get hurt. So
isn't it one of those deals too that if you slow down, you get hurt more? One of those things.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of weird. I mean it just really just happens. It's uncontrollable for us. But I mean the everybody else in the room, they work just how we work. So when they get their time to go out there and get on the field, they know what to do and they don't. And I mean we expect them to reach the standard that we play at. So
I could make the argument, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, that you guys will be a better defense because of that last year. Because I mean, I think a guy like Patton, right, who on a normal surges, guys like that on a normal year wouldn't have played a lot, but because there were some injuries, they got reps. Those guys should be a lot better this year, I would think.
Yeah, there was a lot of young players last year. They got a lot of reps during the season and a lot of prime time reps, big game reps. So I mean, everybody knows what to expect this year, and that's just gonna help everybody because we have that depth. So it just plays in our favor.
Yeah, no doubt. I know a guy like you. I'm sure you had, if you wanted to, you would have had opportunities to go somewhere else or do whatever you wanted to do in the offseason. Why are you still wearing that Cyclone shirt, man?
I love everybody here. It's from the coaches to the players. Everything. It's a true family environment, and that's hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw that when I was visiting schools coming out of high school. Iowa State was a true family environment, and they actually cared about you and not just on the field. It was also off the field, and everything just feels so together here. So I ain't really want to leave that, and I had no I had no like option to leave. I mean, not option, but like I had just no
No interest.
reason to leave. Like we're bringing back everybody, and we can really run the Big 12 if we just put our mind to it. So that's what I was thinking the whole time.
Well, it's also interesting. So again, I was just out there in Vegas, and you're looking at all these teams, and man, it's pretty rare to bring back as many guys as you all are in this day and age of college football,
Yeah,
right? Like, I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot of these schools that have like 25 transfers. You know,
yeah. Because people just transfer now if they don't play.
can you explain, like, to the casual fan who's watching, is going to come out and watch y'all at Jack Trice Stadium this year,
Mhm.
how big of a deal that is for a defense, just kind of knowing the guys in front of you and knowing the guys beside you, and not having to relearn it on an annual basis?
What you mean?
Well, I mean, the chemistry, right? Like,
Oh,
you have chemistry with these guys because you know them and you trust
yeah,
them,
yeah.
right?
I
Like,
mean, yeah.
that's
Like
a
I mean,
big
we had a
deal, isn't
couple.
it? More
Yeah,
than we probably make it out to be.
yeah, we had a couple transfers last year, but I mean, like I said, it's college football. It's a business. So next man up. It's
Yeah.
always our coaches tell us it's a next man up mentality, and we're together so much every single day. Like have like 12, 13 hours together just as a safety group. And I mean, we just build that chemistry within the meeting hours when we're on the field. So I mean, the chemistry comes fast just because the amount of time we're together. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of unfortunate that nowadays people would just transfer like that if they don't get what they want.
Well, it's good for the fans, I'll tell you that, because it's fun to watch you guys, like watching you as a freshman to growing up to where you are now. It's part of the reason people love college athletics, at least for me. What are you seeing from the guys beside you at corner? Because you lose TJ, and he's going to have a great NFL career.
Yep.
Miles is back. It's great to have Darian back. What about some of those young corners? Because I think we've seen most of the safeties, right? What are you seeing from these young guys at cornerback?
Oh,
John
yeah.
Tez, those type of guys.
They dogs. I promise you, I'm gonna warn y'all right now. Like our corner room are dogs from top to bottom. It don't matter if they're young. I mean, none of them are really young though, cause
Yeah.
but
It's kind of one of those deals
but
too. You don't play much behind TJ Tampa, right? Like,
yeah,
we don't
yeah,
see him because that guy never comes out of the game.
yeah. But I mean, like I said, those players that were in the corner room with them last year. I mean, they still work every single day. And now that he's gone, they know that spot up for grabs. So they working to get that spot, but they working together still. But I mean, it's gonna be very fun, and it's gonna really open up a lot of eyes because I already know what they're gonna do next season, but people don't really know how good they are.
Mm-hmm. What was the what you do your end of the year meeting, or however you guys do it, with strength and conditioning, or Coach Campbell, Coach Haycock, your position coach? What was the goal for Jeremiah Cooper going into the offseason as far as your body goes, and where were you trying to improve to get ready for 2024?
Just I mean, for my body wise, just gaining a little bit more weight. I just wanted to gain a little bit, like probably like 5, 6 more pounds, but I'm pretty much almost there. That was my number one goal, just to stay durable throughout the whole season. The past 2 seasons, I had a little injury, so I'm trying not to have that happen again, and I'm trying my best to keep my body 100%. But then on the field, just to stay consistent. I mean, I had a strong start to the season. Probably went down a little bit some games, went back up. So just to stay consistent, keep going up. That's really what me and my coaches talked about.
Yeah, early in the year, you were one of the nation's leaders in interceptions. And
Yeah.
where does that ball hawk mentality come from? You always had that?
I mean, I always play receiver, so like it's
Oh,
kind of natural. So
there you
like
go.
high school, middle school, like it's kind of natural just catching footballs, and so I mean, I don't know. I just God given ability. I'll say that.
Well, I've been here a long time. I've been covering Iowa State for a long time, and I can always tell. Usually, I'll get a note or on a guy early on if they've got it. And I remember that your first fall camp, I started hearing like, this Cooper kid's like legit. Like, keep an eye on this Cooper kid. I was getting that a lot. Did you expect that right away, Jeremiah, when you came in? Like, did you think you would make that big of an impact from day one?
I didn't think so. Like, I mean, like I wouldn't say I don't think so, but it happened fast.
Yeah,
I'm
it did.
talking about day one fall camp interception, and like I mean, interceptions is everything, especially in practice. So I mean, I knew it was probably gonna happen, but like I said, I didn't think it was gonna happen so fast, like day one fall camp. So I mean, shoot, it's kind of just a blessing, just. I don't know. It was crazy. It was
How,
crazy.
how have you? Because we know you had it physically. How have you gotten better pre-snap in your 2 years at Iowa State?
A lot, but that's what made me play a lot better last year. I mean, freshman year, I was out there just playing the right coverage, not just trying not to mess up. But sophomore year, you actually get into the game of football and actually pick up on the pre-snap cues and all that, the formations, what they're about to run, backfield set, everything. So once you start picking up on that mentally, the whole game just becomes smoother and slower. So that's what really helped me last season. That's what I'll continue to grow on, just to take my game to the next level.
So the other thing, when I break down the defense, it felt like I just talked to Bacon about this. When I watched, especially the front seven, more so than the secondary, it felt like everybody was just like a half step behind. Like y'all were very good. It felt like it was like a half step from being great. Maybe the youth. I don't know what that goes to. What's your confidence level? Like, I always use a guy like Onyedem. Like, I feel like he was really close to having 10 sacks.
Yeah,
He was so close so many times, right? What's your confidence level that you guys can just take that final half step as a unit?
Oh, we real confident in that, and we all believe that we're gonna do that this next season. Just like I said, last year, young team, just getting used to things, being out there for the first time all together. I mean, a lot of freshmen playing, a lot of underclassmen playing. So we just kind of getting our feet wet, and I mean, just picking up on those mistakes we learned from last year and just applying them to our offseason and hopefully applying them to this next season. That's gonna take this team to the next level. I'm telling you right now. So
Yeah, I'm with you, man, because the offense is going to get a lot of love, rightfully so, going into this year with everybody. I truly think if you guys are going to reach the goal of the Big 12, winning the Big 12 championship, right? Like, I think that defense is. I think you guys can force some turnovers too. Like, I don't think this is just a bend but don't break type thing. Like, don't you feel like this defense has the ability, especially if that may play a little forward down lineman a little bit. If you can get to the quarterback a little bit more, I feel like you guys could really turn some teams over in this league.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm probably the most confident as a team for this year's team, just because I mean we've been playing with all together like 2-3 years now. We've been together since freshman year, so I mean it's our third year, second year, so we going out there and just trying to execute, and I feel comfortable around them. I know they got me, I got them, so I mean it's a whole lot. It's exciting. I think about this every day just because we had the potential to be a real good team, and we all know that, but it's just all up to us.
How much do you get, you players, at least? I know Campbell wouldn't give me any good quotes here because he won't talk, and I say that in a fun way. But like now, like the playoff is expanded, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not that far fetched
No,
to think that the Iowa State Cyclones could host a playoff game.
no, that's very much in reach.
Do you think about that? Like
We think about that every day. That's the goal. Win the Big 12 first, and then get to them playoffs. That I mean, it's a 12-team playoff, so we believe we belong in them playoffs just because of who we bring it back and our mentality, and I mean, just our skill set all around. Like we're a skilled team right now. So I mean, we've got to just believe in each other and hopefully reach that goal. But that's our goal. Like we want to get to the playoffs.
I hope you do, and it'll be a fun to watch. You're one of my favorite clones ever, man. I love watching you play ball. You tell the defensive linemen they got to have somebody step up because the secondary is taking my eyes to the back end there, man. Like,
Hey,
you guys
they gonna step up. They gonna step up. Watch.
No, I know they will. I know they will. And enjoy the game when you get the game. I look forward to hearing what you think about it.
I can't wait to play it.
All right, man. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Yes, sir. Go Cyclones.